Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chronicle, where I just talked to myself for about 2 or 3 minutes before realizing that my microphone was not selected in the settings. But it's fine, I only lost like 2 minutes. Welcome back to the Chronicle. Goals. Check it out, I got more right there. I'm going to start with my daily goals right here. I feel like I don't think I talk about them much. Maybe I talk about them every time and I just forget about it. But I don't bring a whole lot of attention to them. Uh, but one of them is like tasting, tasting stuff, or not tasting stuff, smelling stuff so that I can taste stuff. I have been smelling my essential oils, which are just off camera right there. And I feel like I did notice a lot more bad smells, but not really good smells, and I don't think my taste was coming back at all. Which kind of sucks because it feels like I'm getting like the bad side of the coin. But I don't know. I guess maybe I just need to trust the process. I was eating after hanging out with some friends earlier this week, and I think I talked about it in the Chronicle. Um, but we were eating, and he's like, "Oh, we were at Culver's." He was like, "You have to get the Boom Boom sauce," and I was like, "Boom Boom sauce," and he's like, "Yeah, it's really good." I was like, "Okay," so I get it, and it just tastes kind of like hot sauce. It doesn't taste like hot sauce. It tastes hot and it tastes like sauce. I couldn't really get any distinguishable flavor. And I was like, "Does it taste like something?" He's like, "Yeah, it tastes like." And then he like checked the ingredients. He's like, like cayenne or something. But no, it just tasted like sauce and hot to me. So I guess I just need to do it more, and then maybe my taste will come back. The other ones was like, yeah, my New Year's resolution, which was playing video games and reading the Action Bible. I didn't do that this week, which is, kind of sucks. But, from the amount that I have done, I know that just like doing it regularly enough will allow me to finish it by the end of the year. Um, and I'm looking at my mic and it looks like it's peaking a lot. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. I don't know if I need to lower that. Maybe this will be really loud. I don't know. Anyway, then the other two are practice piano and guitar. Still have not gotten 4 practices on both instruments yet. I think that's like that one's got like 4 X's on it. But it's tough. It's tough out here. It's not really that tough. It just feels like it. Anyway, so those are those ones, and then oh yeah, still catching up on piano and guitar. I did not do much guitar catch up this week, which kind of sucks, but I did do more piano catch up, so I'm getting closer to that. Um, I know I added 2 goals this week. And then I added 2 for next week as well. The 2 that I added for this week were to eat a nectarine and an apple. I was going to bite into the nectarine, and then once I kind of like, I put my teeth on it, I was like, this is kind of hard. Like the fruit is a little bit hard. I thought these were supposed to be soft, kind of like peaches. And I Googled it, and it's like, you can eat them when they're hard and crisp, similar to an apple, or you can wait until they're soft and juicy. And I was like, I don't want to eat an unripe fruit. So I haven't done that. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do those things tomorrow. And then the apple, uh, I did want to try it again because, as you guys know, I am deathly allergic to raw apples. I can have apples in pretty much any other form: apple juice, apple sauce, apple pie, baked apples. Caramel apples, no, because that's just a raw apple that's dipped in caramel. I haven't tried it, but that's what it is in my brain, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is in real life as well. Because it's like it's a big risk to take a whole bite out of a caramel apple and then be like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? So the risk reward there is not quite worth it. But I love caramel apples. When I could have them. But I am deathly allergic to apples. But I'm thinking it's been a while. Maybe I've outgrown my allergy. I've mostly outgrown my pollen allergy. My eyes have been itchy for like a while. Not entirely sure why. It's kind of annoying. But it's not like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like allergies because it's like fall. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I was like, maybe I've outgrown my apple allergy. Maybe something's changed. I am a bit older now, so I was just gonna try an apple. I bought one. Have not gotten into biting into it because I wanted to make sure my stomach was feeling okay before I did that. Because I'm mostly sure it would upset my stomach if I ate something I was allergic to. So I wanted to make sure my stomach was feeling like perfect, before trying it. But I never really got that this week because I like maybe didn't eat enough food. Um, anyway, so I'll do that probably tomorrow. I think I'll do those 2. And then the 2 that I added for next week, or maybe I should keep talking about this week. Oh yeah, sorry guys, I didn't do the one where I said I was going to work on music with GarageBand, in my phone. I'm going to put a symbol on it. I don't know what symbol to put on it. I'm just going to put a square on it. There we go. That's not super noticeable. But I'm going to put a square on it, which means I have to do it next week, or else, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's the, replication? No. Repercussion of not doing, a goal that I need to do. I've thought about that. No idea. Yeah, so I'll do that music goal next week. I'll do it tomorrow, right? I might be stacking a lot of things on tomorrow, but like eating an apple and a nectarine is not really that hard. The hard thing would be the music. So I'll do that tomorrow. Trust me on that one. I said I would do it this week. I didn't. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Time's run out. We're doing it now. That thing's got like so many. I actually need to put one more X on it now that I think about it. How many does it have on it? 10 X's. Meaning that one's been up there for 10 weeks. I guess I've been busy or something. But yeah. So I'll do that tomorrow. And then there's also the lock-in goal, which I put another in progress on. Yeah, I guess I should talk about that before I get into the journal. I did want to keep this shorter, but you know how it goes. Because I do have work in the morning. Yeah, so the lock-in goal, I really thought about, making some Google searches to look into stuff more, because like I did last week. But I've just been doing more thinking, right? One thing I realized is, why don't I chase my dreams, right? I know that's a very optimistic and naive way of thinking about it, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. Why don't I chase my dreams? And I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, session musician, okay, step 1, go to college, get a degree. Step 2, not a clue. Not a clue in the world.
Off.
I don't know if you heard that. That was my speaker, auto-powering off. Yeah, it's like, step 2 was talk to people in the music industry. Okay, where are they at? Where do I find them? I don't know. I could probably talk to my teacher. I was thinking about asking him if, I was like, am I good enough to be a session musician? I would assume the answer is not yet, not no. But like we've been learning to figure out songs by ear, and I'm really bad at it, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very good at it. I would say I'm bad at it. I feel like I'm better at figuring out melodies, but he was telling us to start with the chords. And I didn't tell him that, but like, I don't know, because like if there was a melody that was sung, I could be like, oh yeah, bip, 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 yep, there it is. But music is more than melody, so I guess that's why he was having us start with the chords. But he was like, play this one, nope, this one, nope, like he was essentially just having me systematically trial and error figure out the chords in the song, and we did figure out a couple songs in lessons that day, but like it was not easy for me. It was pretty hard. And I think I'm gonna need to be able to figure out songs by ear to be a session musician. Maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't. Yeah, because like I thought that what it was they just put the music in front of you and you play it. And then of course you gotta like be able to improvise a little bit of stuff, play it with the band, yada yada. But yeah, so that's why I don't chase that goal. It's not easy. It's really not easy, and I don't even know how to other than get a degree, which is a whole nother step. It's like, okay, step 1, but like you got a bunch of steps before that's actually completed. And then the other one was like diving, and like I said, I looked into like boats and stuff, and it's like, oh, you got to get a certification. It's like, well, I probably also have to move to the coast and blah blah blah, and maybe go to college over there. It's like, whoa, like I think I talked about that like last week. I was like, whoa, right? Suddenly, step 1 becomes step 100 of a whole plan. So it's like I just don't even know where to start. But I know that I just need to go and do things because that's how life goes. One thing I want to mention. My mom, through VA benefits, I think, not entirely sure, is like able to get me on a scholarship that will allow me to go to any college or like university in the state completely tuition free, to finish out my bachelor's. I would still have to pay the cost of books or like whatever required materials, but tuition completely free, which is like most of the cost of college. Not only that. She said that I could, move in with her because she said she has a spare room, which would be tempting because the FAFSA doesn't consider me an independent until I'm 24, meaning I won't get much money from that because it thinks, or it's like, it's thinking or it's saying that I am depending on my parents. even if I am, out here on my own in the apartment with my roommate and sister. So, what I thought of was I could go to, say, KU, tuition free, live with my mom, probably rent free, also work part time, because that way I don't feel like a bum. Even though I wouldn't be a bum, I would be in college. I could be in college full time, or maybe like even more than that. Then again, I did do college like 18 credit hours and then work like 3 times a week. That wasn't too bad. Um, anyway, yeah, so like that is a very realistic plan right there. Go to KU for 2 more years, maybe 3 or 4, because they were on some bull stuff. So go to KU for 2 3 years, live with my mom until I finish out that, and live a good life. And that sounds pretty good, other than the fact that I would still be saying that I live with my mom and I would still be living with my mom. Um, I'm trying to think if I would pay rent there or not. I would probably have a lot of financial aid if I lived with my mom, I know that. And I would have free tuition, meaning I wouldn't pay for much for college, but, I'd still pay for like a fair chunk of it, because like books and whatnot. And I still have to drive there, especially if I go to KU. Um, but yeah, it's like that is absolutely a thing that could happen, which would get me a degree in music, which is part of, the dream job of session musician. But like I said, I don't really want to move back in with my parents. Like, I don't know, because, like, it's like, where do you live? I live with my mom, versus where do you live? I live in an apartment. For some reason, saying that I live in an apartment and work a 9 to 5 in a factory doesn't feel very good to me. Yeah, it's like like I said, I still kind of feel like a bum because I am just a 9 to 5 in a factory in an apartment. Um, yeah, that's why I don't chase my dreams. But I'll leave that there and we'll get into the journal. Monday. Unfortunately, I'm forfeiting my 4 practices on guitar this week so that I can get back into a good sleep schedule. I'll still get 3, hopefully, and I'll take melatonin tonight to solidify my sleep schedule. In other news, I went grocery shopping and got some more options for lunch because I've been getting sick of the same old 3 things that I have been having for the last couple weeks. And then the question or the quote is, "Where should I live next year?" Like I said, that ties into the whole, what am I gonna be doing next year? College? I don't know. Not a clue in the world. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I didn't get 4 practices. I think I got like 0 on guitar. I'm really bad at practicing guitar. Um, I did go grocery shopping. I got cottage cheese and chips, which is actually really good. For some reason, like surprisingly high in protein. Um, I did take melatonin. I can't remember how I felt in the morning. I went to bed at like 10. I felt like it wasn't great. I am recording this later than I should be. It's 11:29 right now. I wanted to be done by 11:30, but that's how it goes. Because I'm still getting that thing where I'm not getting tired in the evening, and I don't know why. It's like adding time to my day, but like not at the same time. Like I said, it's so weird. It's like I can't tell if I'm just like powering through the repercussions of losing sleep through sheer power of will, or like I don't know. Because like I said, it used to be a challenge to stay awake until 2 or 3 a.m. And then like I was doing it easy peasy last week, or this week actually, I think. Um, so it's like, why am I not getting tired at the end of the day? Because I talked about this before, it was a problem in the past, where like for the last 2 hours of being awake, I would be so tired that I wouldn't want to do things. Now it's like, how much stuff can I do before I get tired or need to go to bed? And it's like, I just don't understand. I don't understand why it's happening, how it's happening. I mean, it's good, I guess, because I'm doing more things. Um, But yeah, that. I got cottage cheese and chips. I thought about getting new sandwich ingredients, but I couldn't find them. So I guess I'll do that next week. But yeah, I did also get different sauce for my spaghetti. Probably won't make a huge difference, but we'll see. Tuesday, after work today, I played Helldivers, practiced my instruments, and that's about it. I had cottage cheese and chips for lunch today, but I was still kind of hungry afterwards, so I'll bring more chips tomorrow because I don't want to eat the cottage cheese by itself. I've also thought about moving back in with my mom until I'm done with college. I doubt I'll actually do that, but I've thought about it. The quote is, "I wonder how I'll sleep tonight." That one was written at 10:19 p.m. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I had the cottage cheese and chips. I don't like the kind of chips that I got. They were like honey barbecue, but something. something really weird, like with the flavor, was like disagreeing with me to where my stomach didn't like it. Not entirely sure what it was or why it was, but I got a new kind of chip for this week. Should be fine. Yeah, that was pretty good. And yeah, man. And like, let me tell you, in that moment where my mom was like, "You can get the scholarship and live with me," I was like, "That sounds good. That sounds easy. It sounds doable, right? Live with my mom, tuition free, while working part time. I'd have my own room. It would be just me and her in there. So like I wouldn't have anyone to bother me. My main issue with my current roommate is that she keeps the dishes. Yeah, she pretty much keeps the kitchen dirty. She's terrible at cleaning up after herself, and I don't like it. But you got to take the good with the bad. She also buys a lot of food, and I usually get to eat it because she doesn't. I don't know why. Girls just do that. They buy food and then don't eat it. Anyway, yeah, it's like no hate on her. It's just I don't hate, or no, I do hate her habits of keeping the kitchen dirty all the time. Not like she does it on purpose, but you know what I mean. And I don't know how much better my mom would be. I know she wasn't the best at it in the past, but I don't know what she's like now. But yeah, it could be chill. It could be easy. It could be fun. And you guys know my whole goal in life is fun and being happy and enjoying life. That would be enjoyable. But like, would I be happy to say I live with my mom while I'm in college still? It's like once they hear the while I'm in college still, it'd be like, oh, he's still in college. It's fine. But my brain goes, no, you could be living on your own. And I've actually thought about living alone. I don't know where I would find a studio apartment. I looked in Lenexa, which is where I would like to live, but I couldn't find one there. So maybe I'll just try another city because I know studio apartments are like really small, but like I said, living alone I just think might be really cool. I don't know because like I said, I don't quite live alone. I do have a sister and roommate. Um, so yeah, but that was Tuesday. Wednesday, written at 11:11 p.m. After work, I wanted to get in a workout, but I didn't want to go to the gym, so I texted my friend, but she was busy. So I texted another friend, and she was free. So me, her, and her boyfriend went to a park near his house and set up badminton. But before we could get a good volley in, some kid born in 2014 came up to us and asked to play with us. I didn't have the heart to tell him no, so I let him join. He wasn't very good, but I could tell he was having a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure his name was Alucard. Dracula backwards. Like the character from the video game series, which might be based off a book. I haven't looked into it that much, but I know Castlevania is a video game series. At least. It could be a book, it could be more. I don't know. I know it's a video game series. And they also have the animated series, which is good, which also has Alucard in it. But, like, the kid was like, one time, like, at one point, we finished a volley. He turns around, he waves at his friend, he says, "Hi, Megan." And then, presumably, Megan says, "Hi, Alucard." And I'm like, Alucard? Like Dracula backwards? Like Dracula? Like from Castlevania? Like from the video game? You're telling me someone named their kid after a video game character? He was born in 2014. He was born after the iPhone. I just thought that was funny. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure one time in the library, when I was like 14, I was playing Roblox on the computer, and I hear these two little girls behind me, and then one of them refers to the other as Mikasa, which is an anime character. And I was like, no way someone named their child Mikasa after the anime character from the popular anime series Attack on Titan, bro. Ain't no way. Millennials, man. Or something like that. That was Wednesday. Yeah, me and my friends played sports. We played badminton. We played a little bit of volleyball. And then we walked to Culver's. And, like, it's one of those things where it's like the Culver's in your head, it's like, oh, it's just over there from the boyfriend's house. But it wasn't. It's like, it might be like a whole mile or maybe two. Like, it took us a while to walk there. But it was good. Like I said, that's where I had the sauce. And I was like, nope, kind of just tastes like sauce. And he's like, damn, you're cooked, bro. And I was like, yeah, you're telling me. Today after work, I got a little bit of Helldivers in before music lessons, which went fairly well. And then I got a quick snack and some gas at QT before coming home and playing Satisfactory with my friend for too long, because I wanted to get a piano practice in, so I'm writing this much later than usual. But I prepped lunch, so it's not so bad. And then the quote is, "Why don't I chase my dreams?" And now you know why. That one was at 11:39 p.m. It's currently 11:36 p.m. I think, yeah. Like this whole thing where it's like I'm just happier, more energetic, and less pessimistic, more optimistic. Don't know why it's happening. Could be the creatine. Maybe. I still have no idea. I can't say anything for certain. Um, but yeah, that was Thursday. Yeah. Friday, written at 12:21 a.m. Today after work, I went to the gym and got most of a workout in, and I think I might have pushed myself a little too hard, but I still made it out okay. After that, I came home and played video games for the rest of the evening and finished the day with a piano practice. My mental health is holding good and steady, and I'm making more goals and thinking about the main objective. And then the quote is, "What even is an accusation?" Yeah, that's what happened on Friday. Let me double check it. Yep, video games, practice, good mental health. Yeah, like I said, I'm like, why aren't the repercussions as bad as I think they would be? Is it just my mental game is stronger? Or like, am I stronger? I have no idea. Um, yeah, and like I said, I do have two more goals on there, which I forgot to talk about during the goals. And then what even is an accusation? That was written there because my friend, not my friend, goodness, no, they are not my friend. My coworker I'm pretty sure they were messing with me. I'm gonna put this down just so I can talk better. I was at work doing my job, packing boxes, and then my coworker says, "Hey, you remember yesterday when you was it what'd you say? You accused me of taking your pen, and then it turns out it was in your other pocket." I did not accuse her. I just said, "Hey, did either of you guys move my pen? Because I couldn't find my pen." And then they both go, "No." And then she says the next day, "Remember when you accused me of moving your pen, and then it was in the other pocket?" And of course, her friend, who's also my coworker, is like, "Ah, que pena, bro," which means how embarrassing in Spanish. That's a rough translation, but that's about what it means. And I was like, it just really annoyed me, cause like I knew she wasn't being mean, but it was just really annoying. Like those two, they're the dynamic duo of being annoying as hell at work. Um, that's just what they do. I guess that's how they pass the time and have fun. I know they have no malicious intent, but it's just super annoying. And that's where it's like I didn't accuse you, I just asked you, and it's like I know that like I should like take comfort in knowing the truth, which is I just asked her, and she's like I said, she's just messing with me, trying to like I don't know make jokes or have fun. Um, but yeah, that was super annoying. I think yeah, that was Friday. Saturday, yesterday, I did about half of the productive things that I scheduled for today, but that's okay. I'll just lock in tomorrow. I did not lock in tomorrow. I got groceries, played video games, got a solid piano practice in, and I took 3 or 4 shots of kava, but I didn't feel anything, so I might try again tomorrow. I'm also gonna try. I was also gonna try nectarine today, but I don't think they're quite ripe yet. I also made sweet potatoes by boiling them, but I think I should have let them simmer longer. And then the quote at the end is just the word nadir, spelled Nadir. I've never heard the word nadir before. I thought it was nadir, but I was like, that's a name. And of course, I was doing the Wordle for that day. So it's like nadir. It's got something to do with like the lowest point of like a financial thing or something. I didn't care that much. But yeah, it's pronounced nadir. I thought it was like nadir, like the name, but it wasn't. Yeah, so I think I am going to try the nectarine a little bit before it's ripe because Google said that it was a matter of preference whether you like your nectarines crisp and hard like an apple or if you like it soft and juicy like a peach. Um, yeah, I didn't do much. I was going to lock in today, didn't. Because, like I said, I keep doing the thing now where it's like I push off the goals because I'm like, oh, I have so much time, I have so much time, I have so much time. And then I run out of time. And it's like, well, crap, now I don't have any time. That's kind of what happened this week. I didn't do much Google searching or locking in, but I wasn't. I didn't want to kill myself. That's good. Um, I did make the sweet potatoes. I boiled them. Not the best. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what was wrong with them. They just weren't super good. Maybe it's because I don't know. I boiled them. I just put like salt and pepper on them. Like it wasn't that good. I think maybe I needed to let them boil longer so that they were a bit softer. Excuse me. But yeah, I've got one more sweet potato, so maybe I'll try that next week. Yeah, then that leads us to today. Oh my gosh, I really need to wrap this up, so I'm gonna try and run through it quick. Today I woke up and I was gonna go to the gym, but I ended up playing Hollow Knight instead because I was like I woke up, it was like 10 or 11. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I was like, wait a minute, I haven't eaten anything. Is it fine to work out before eating? I know I've done that in the past, but I'm not quite as young anymore. And I was like, you know what, it'll be fine. I'll just eat some food, and then play some video games, and then go to the gym. I ate some food, I played some video games, played video games for too long, and then by the time I played video games, it was time to go to the marina, to the lake with my friends. I was there for like 3 or 4 hours. Then we got food afterward, and then I was in the same city that my mom lives in, so I was like, okay, I'll go to my mom's house because she wanted to give me some deodorant. Because actually, no one knows, no one on the channel, no one knows about the deodorant saga. I keep that thing under wraps, even though it sounds cool when you call it a saga. It's not super awesome. Uh, but yeah, she gave me some deodorant because of the deodorant saga that's going on actively. Um, we'll see how it goes. And then I came home, and then I think I played more video games, and then I prepped lunch, and now I'm here. Oh, I took a shower too. Um, and that's my day. I was gonna say something. Hold on, it's right there. Oh yeah, video games. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I think maybe like once, but like one time I was talking to my friend, and I was like, everyone has their vice, and then they were like, "What's your vice?" And I was like, "I think it's video games. Video games are my drug." I know that sounds really, really stupid, but it's true because it's like I play the game, I get immersed in the game, and I kind of forget that I live in the real world. So it's like literally, like I said, this is gonna sound really stupid, really, really stupid, but video games take the pain away. I don't have to live in the real world when I'm immersed in Hollow Knight Silksong. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that sounds stupid, but it's the truth. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I've been playing games since I was a kid. I was playing video games before I knew how to spell. That's a true fact. That's where my username, where one of my first ever online usernames came from. It came from a typo because I didn't know how to spell, and I was like, "Hey, older brother, how do you spell Rex?" And he goes, Rex, and he throws his hand on the keyboard, and then it comes out as XDS, which then turned into one of my online usernames, which I don't think I use anymore, which is Asher XDS. Oh yeah, it's used in my email. Um, I guess I still use that today, but it's not used in any of my usernames today. But yeah, that was where one of my usernames came from. That's like that's deep lore right there. I can't even remember how many people I've told that because I'm pretty sure the number is so small. But also, it's like people don't usually question each other's usernames. I like to question people's usernames sometimes, like, oh, how'd you get this username? What's the story behind it? Because I feel like usernames usually have stories, and usually they do. I know I've asked a couple friends. Yeah, I was gonna list them off, and I was like, wait a minute, how many have I actually done with that? I can remember one. My friend's Roblox username was Lenny Plan, and I was like, why is it Lenny Plan? He's like, well, I liked Lenny, the Koopaling from Mario, and I needed a plan to come up with the username, so his username became Lenny Plan. It's not that anymore. He changed it. But yeah, usernames usually have a story behind them, and usually they're kind of fun. Like I said, that's like elite ball knowledge, knowing where the username AsherXDS came from, and now you know. But like I said, it's like I'm trying to think. Like of my closest friends, I don't remember telling any of them that story, but I feel like I probably have at one point. But like I said, that solidifies my point of video games are my drug. Like I said, it's stupid, but it's true. That's just how life goes sometimes. Most of the time, it feels like at this point. Anyway, the goals. I've got two more goals for next week: handwriting and cursive. My handwriting is really bad. I'm going to buy a children's little handwriting book to try and make my handwriting better. I'm also going to buy a cursive handwriting book. Handwriting book? Just a book to teach me cursive, because I think it would be cool to go like, woo, 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 woo. Because, like, wouldn't it be faster and more efficient if I could write more words and letters without my pencil leaving the page? Wouldn't I then be able to write faster? Just like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. Lake was fun. Food was good. Liked seeing my mom. That's the end of the week. I will see you all next week. Bye.